Okay, in this clip I really want to talk about how you're going to record sound. Obviously you're going to do this with mixers. Obviously you can have pre-recorded soundtracks, but out in the field on location you'll be recording your own sound, so this will be all through the microphones that you use. The microphones we use on this course predominantly are the Sennheiser's ME66, and these are rifle mics, occasionally called boom mics or shotgun mics. The Sennheisers are brilliant, professional standard, broadcast quality microphones. In terms of these mics, these essentially record directional sound. So these will be a cardioid sound. So when we say cardioid, it means that the sound that's recorded from the microphone has a heart-shaped pattern at the end. So essentially, as the sound is nearer to the mic, then it's more direct, and obviously as it goes up it will go out more. So in terms of recording your subject sound, the best quality sound will always be the sound that's nearest to the microphone. Obviously the further away from the microphone the subject is, then the more background noise and extra sounds around in terms of the atmosphere the microphone is going to pick up. So again, if you can control your environment and can control your sound, especially if you're recording in the field, then this will help enormously. The amount of times short films have been completely destructed, damaged beyond repair because of bad sound problems, and often there's no way of dubbing the sound or doing any post-production work on the sound. You know, sound is a crucial aspect that a lot of people overlook. In terms of recording good sound, it's not very difficult so long as you know how to use the equipment and how to set up your scenes correctly, and also how to control the environment. Control the sound around you, make sure that you get any other distractions or extra sounds out of the way. So if you're filming a park, for example, think about the extra noises that might be on a park. Will a busy road be there? Which way you point the camera. So think about which way you point in the mic also. Is it towards the road or is it away from the road? And again, remember these cardioid mics, they pick up sound directly in front of them. So that means the sound that comes from that mic, obviously background noise will be picked up depending on how loud that sound is. But as I say, the nearer the mic the subject is, then the better the sound will be. Okay then, so in terms of connecting these mics, in terms of using the 151s, we can plug directly into the side using the XLR cables, and the XLR cable connects to the mic and then to the camera. These are really stable connections. However, if you're using an XLR extension, so if you want to record a subject say 10 meters away, then you'll need an XLR extension cable. Make sure you check these cables and the ends aren't wobbling or there's any broken piece in, because this will damage your sound. It'll leave like little fuzzy tracks on your sound might cut out from time to time. So make sure your equipment's checked. Also make sure you're monitoring your sound. So when you're recording sound, always listen to the sound in the headphones. Through the 151s you can monitor the sound on the flip out screen. Other options to record sound include the field recorder. The sound recorders can book out a field recorder from the AV store and use this without having to record sound through the camera. Again, these field mixers are more often used when using DSLR cameras such as the Canon 5D Mark II. However, you might choose to use a field mixer with the 151, or you might choose to use the Canon 5D Mark II or another DSLR camera. Again, what I'd say is it's similar setup, but the sound recorders has complete control then. We've got a portable mixer rather than having to rely on the camera operator to check the levels. So where to place the mic? The boom operator will hold out a fishpole with a microphone connected to the end. The microphone basically needs to stay as close to the subject and aimed at the subject. It seems quite an easy task. However, you'd be surprised in terms of once a boom holder starts to watch the scene, the microphone often steers away to one side or its direction will change a little bit. I've even known people to put on microphones backwards before now and record scenes behind them. So don't ever take the role of boom operator for granted. It's quite a technical role, and it needs a lot of stamina in terms of standing around for a long time with a microphone placed above your head. Again, in terms of the position of a microphone, it's very easy to have the boom pole and rest it on the ground, or rest it on a table, or rest it on a chair. As a little experiment, put your ear to a table and then just make subtle taps on the table, just slight taps, and then in your ear think about how much these sounds have been amplified. The same goes for the boom. Sound as a vibration will travel. So if the boom is on the floor, the sound, the vibrations in the floor will travel up the boom to the microphone. You act as a human buffer for the microphone, so you and your body stop the vibrations. Also, don't hold the mic near to anything where there are vibrations. So the table we're talking about, don't hold the microphone near to the table. Don't hold it under the table because you'll start to pick up feet. If you hold it near the floor, you'll pick up sounds from the floor. The best place to position the mic then is above the characters' heads, or in the action. If you place the mic above the characters' heads, it means you can move the microphone quickly and freely and avoid any disturbances such as noise from the floor, noise from tables. If you position the mic within a conversation, there's a chance that you're going to lose the freedom there of being able to move the mic around quickly. As an example, if you want to film a shot with two people talking, you want to move the microphone around as quickly and as freely as possible. As the boom operator, you need to read the script, understand the script, understand what the director wants from the shot. Is it going to be a panning shot? Is it going to be a tracking shot? Or will it cut? So think about, what room have you got to swing the boom? Who's going to speak next? Predict what's going to go on in the scene so you don't miss any sound. Remember, the microphone needs to be next to the characters and point at the characters at all time to record the best possible sound. Again, in terms of giving you this freedom, hold the microphone above your head and point it down at the characters, so directional at the subjects. There's times when you might think it's difficult, like a low ceiling or things are hanging off the ceiling, and you can put the mic between the characters, but figure out what the scene needs and what the scene is asking for. Will you still be able to move a microphone around freely? Will you pick up extra noises from around the scene? So think about what goes on the scene. Again, as a boom operator and a sound recordist, think about the size of the shot. Speak to the camera operator, the cinematographer, director of photographer, director, whoever's in charge of that scene, and say, what size of shot is this? So then you can place your microphone as close to the subject as possible. If it's a close-up shot and you've got your microphone 3 meters away, it's a waste of time. It's when you could get within centimeters of a character's mouth. If it's a long shot, obviously you're going to have other problems, so you might need a different setup. This might mean using a lapel mic, or dubbing the sound later, or hiding the microphone somewhere. You need to be inventive and innovative in terms of the way you capture the best sound. And obviously you're going to run into difficulties all the time in terms of microphone positioning, but figure out what the scene needs. In terms of a scene where two people are in the distance walking down a beach, do we hear them as though they were stood next to us? There needs to be depth and dimension in that sound. So the likelihood is you wouldn't record sound on that beach. There's the sound of the waves, there's going to be the sound of wind possibly. It's going to be difficult to record the character's sound, the amount of takes and the amount of distance between the camera and the subjects. In terms of a sound like this, maybe just pick up wild tracks of the beach, try and pick up some dialogue sounds, but most of it leave it for the studio and dub it later. Again, if it's a long shot, we'll expect the characters to maybe out of earshot. Also, we won't see their mouths as much, so being able to dub the sound over at a later stage would prove far more easy. Okay, what I want you to do is watch the next clip and make some notes on this clip.